I'll wait for the noisy kettle to finish. Thinking about doing this video, talking about the big property websites, has messed with my head. My head's in a mess. I don't think this is going to go well. I don't even know what I'm going to say yet. Kitchen is a mess. Homeschooling children, newborn baby, working from home, running several different things. This is not going to be a beautifully planned and professionally presented video about national property websites in the UK. This is a vlog. I'm sitting down, I'm doing it off the top of my head, and I want to share with you the most important things that you need to know if you're a serious mover, buying or selling or renting, and you want to know how to get the best out of the big national property websites. Oh, yummy. You need that. The first thing that you need to understand about all of the national property websites, including Best Agent at the moment for now, is that about 1/3 of the listings are junk. Okay? They are, if you are a home mover. Okay, now what do I mean by about 1/3 of the listings are junk? Well, in no particular order, there are properties that are no longer available for sale to let, which are left up there for a long time. I'll come on to why in a minute. There are actually completely fake properties. Totally not even real. They just nick photographs. And you might think, well, why would an estate agent do that? I'll come on to that in a minute. There are commercial properties. There are holiday cabins. There are garages. There's land. There's all of this stuff that, unless you're an investor, if you're just a home mover, it just clutters it up. And actually, the other thing I want to say about this video is that I'm generally addressing what I call the mainstream mover market. So when I say the mainstream market, I'm talking about the most frequently bought and sold properties. Okay, I think the number one most transacted home is a 3-bedroom semi. That is, I think, typically nationally the most commonly bought and sold property. You might think, well, hang on, surely 1-bedroom flats. No, bizarrely, there are far fewer 1-bedroom flats for sale than there are 3-bedroom houses. Mainstream stuff. I'm not talking about sort of above £500,000, everything above that. I mean, the same kind of applies, but not as much, right? So with that in mind, let me get into it. 1/3 of the listings, roughly speaking, are just junk of one sort or another. They are time-wasting junk of one sort or another. The second thing you need to know about moving home when you're using the national property websites is that by their own figures, by their own admission, the response rates for movers are very low. If you want to get a response from an agent, I think Rightmove's own figures a while ago were sort of 40% of their leads go unanswered. And if you're a serious mover, and I mean a serious mover, okay, because not a window shopping tire kicker, because there are plenty of those as well, and those guys, unfortunately, are a waste of time for agents. If you're a serious mover, it's a real problem when you come and inquire about your first property and just hear nothing back and just get tumbleweed. So what do you do about that? I'll come on to that in a minute. If people are getting very low response rates when they're inquiring on properties on portals, and if 1/3 of the listings are junk, what are they there for? What's the point? And this is what all movers need to understand, okay? More than anything else, the reason for the existence of national property websites is as a lead generator trap, okay? I call it a trap. It's a trap for movers to go make you put your data in one way or another. Maybe it's because they've got an instant valuation tool, which is anything but. Maybe it's a sign up for our email newsletter. Maybe it's a inquire about this property, request more details on this property, okay? These big websites are paid very large sums of money by estate agents on a monthly basis, and in return for that money, the estate agents can A, advertise as many properties as they like within reason, but it's basically as many as they like, and B, expect to get leads, mover leads. It's important that you understand, because this is the context that makes all of this make sense, that the number one challenge for all estate agents is not selling or letting a home. The number one challenge for all sales and lettings agents is actually winning instructions to sell or let. That is what they spend easily 80% of their effort, the business owners will spend 80% of their effort doing, is actually going out there to fight over their competition to get your interest and get your attention so that you, if you are a seller or someone letting their house, rings them first before you ring another agent. They do not, and this is the mind-blowing moment for so many movers, they do not exist primarily to help people sell or let their homes. What? You might say, what? That's no way. Yes way. They don't exist to help people sell or let homes. Only the weakest agents actually rely on those websites to sell or let homes. All of the really good agents have got buyers and tenants registered with whom they have a relationship already, and they will be able to sell or let their properties without having to advertise them that much on the portals. So why do they do it? Why do they pay and put the listings up there? Because they want to seem to you guys like they've got the most listings, like they're everywhere you look. It's a bit like estate agents want to have the most for sale boards up around the town because for sale boards generate leads for them. And being online is like the online equivalent on the national websites of having a for sale board up. You just see lots of their for sale boards up on these websites. And I'm talking about Rightmove and Zoopla and OnTheMarket, the main ones. It is my opinion, and it's so strongly my opinion that I've gambled my entire career on it, that all three of these websites are missing the biggest trick, the biggest opportunity to actually bring improvement to the moving population. They're missing the massive trick. And it's because they are paid by estate agents first and foremost. They are kind of at the beck and call of estate agents and do whatever the estate agents want. And what estate agents want is whatever is in their interest. And in their interest is to win more business than their competitors. Okay? Remember that. Any estate agent's primary goal is winning more property to sell or let than their competitors. The last few weeks have been absolutely nuts. I'm approaching 6,500 subscribers on YouTube, 20,000 on TikTok, which I've been totally neglecting. If you're a TikTok follower and you're seeing this, I'm really sorry for neglecting you. That's how messed up my head is. I just put the milk away without pouring any in my tea. So, why do agents bother listing junk properties and junk listings? Stuff that's not actually stuff that they're trying to sell. Stuff that's not actually available. Why do they bother with that? It's worth remembering that 1 in 3 buyers has something to sell. And so by listing properties on the big property websites that look like, oh, this looks quite good value, that looks like an okay property, you will call them up and you'll be told, oh, I'm really sorry, that property's just gone. But let me take your details anyway. And 1 in 3 of you, when you're registering to buy, has also got something to sell. And they're on the phone to you and they're talking to you. So their trap of getting you to inquire with them so that they can find out if you've got something to sell has just worked. Okay? So I don't know if any of you watching this can tell me in the comments below if it's happened to you. Are you a buyer who's also got something to sell, who has inquired about a property on one of the national websites, only to be told, sorry, that one's gone. Oh, but are you selling your house? Oh, we'd love to talk to you. Has that happened to you? If it has, please tell me in the comments below. I'd love to know. So understand that serious buyers know that the best way to get a response from an agent is to call the agent directly. Okay? Don't call the number on the national property site, call the agent's own number. By the way, that's something else on Best Agent. So there's a button that says call the agent. When the agent has registered the direct line number they want you to call, that's the number that will be on the website. And if you are a properly registered mover and you've verified your email and you've verified your mobile number, which is still private, you will have access to the agent's direct line phone number. And if you're not, you won't, because we don't want agents being phoned by time wasters. We only want agents being phoned by serious movers. Because most of the leads that come through these big portals are not treated with as high priority by the agents. Okay, and this is something that we hope to change with Best Agent, because we're going to be making sure that the leads that come to agents through Best Agent are much better qualified, serious movers. The other sites that charge agents a monthly subscription justify that monthly subscription with the sheer number of leads they send. There's no measure of the quality. So we sent you 1,000 leads, we sent you 100 leads. So the more leads it's quantity over quality. And Best Agent wants to turn that on its head. We don't want you contacting an agent unless you are a serious mover that's ready to actually proceed with your move. I want to finish this video by talking about my mission, my ultimate mission of a home for everyone, okay? Which means the end of homelessness. And I'm not going to go into the long details about how I finally see that happening, but I'd like to point something out now. All of you who are going to these big national property websites, I'd like you to know the following. There's Rightmove, there's Zoopla, and there's OnTheMarket. Now, Rightmove is a publicly owned company in the UK. It is, by percentage terms, the most profitable company on the UK Stock Exchange. And in its most recent set of annual accounts, it made a profit of £230 million, just under £231 million. I'd like to put that up on the screen. £231 million. You think that a business that operates in the industry of people moving home will probably take an interest in homelessness. Wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't you just go, hey, listen, let's give 1% to homelessness or homelessness charities. Let's make a contribution of some way to help out the homeless or the homelessness sector or homelessness charities or something. So Rightmove, which makes its money from estate agents and also from selling your data through its legitimate ways that it does that, as the other sites do as well. In 2021, in its annual accounts, it says, "We are pleased to report that charitable donations, including matched funding," which means when their staff do stuff for charity, they will match it, and including sponsorship, totaled £153,000. 153 grand for charity. Not bad. Well, hang on a second. Okay, that was split between three charities. So the three charities they've got in their accounts that they're supporting are Calm, the Campaign Against Living Miserably, which is a mental health charity; Harry's Rainbow, a local Milton Keynes charity dedicated to supporting bereaved children; and the Trussell Trust, that supports food banks. Okay? Nothing for homelessness charities. And the total amount they gave was the equivalent of less than 7p for every 100 quid of profit they made. All right? That 153,000 out of their 231 million profit equates to under 7p for every £100 of profit they made. I just think people should know that. When you use Rightmove, you are contributing to their profits. By using Rightmove, you are supporting a company that makes over £231 million profit a year, mostly at the expense of agents, mostly at the expense of small agents, not big ones, and gives nothing to homelessness charities, and gives less than 7p per £100. That's 0.0067%. That's how tiny the amount is, okay? Now, okay, what about Zoopla? So Zoopla is not on the stock market. Zoopla is owned by an American private equity giant called Silver Lake. And Zoopla, even though they paid £2 billion for it when they bought it a few years ago, is just one of 50-something companies that these American hedge fund owners have. It's one of the smaller businesses that they have. So it's completely owned by Americans, which means that all of the profit generated by Zoopla, which also owns Uswitch, is effectively going into American private equity funds. Okay, so when you use Zoopla or when you use Uswitch, you are supporting a business that made £35 million profit with Zoopla in 2021, and Uswitch, this lovely, friendly brand that's just there to help normal people save money, right, took £31 million of profit out of the UK economy for its American owners. That's fine. It's legitimate. Nothing wrong with that. Now, OnTheMarket is different. OnTheMarket is 50% owned by estate agents and 50% owned by shareholders in the stock market. It makes tiny profits by comparison. It made about £1 million profit in this most recent year. All of these businesses are there primarily for themselves. So between Rightmove and Zoopla, you're looking at just under £300 million of profit being sucked out of the home moving industry, with nothing or barely nothing going into the homelessness sector. I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's okay. I think whoever works at these companies that makes decisions about which charities you should support should have a big rethink about, number one, how much you contribute to charities, and number two, whether or not you actually should be helping out in the homelessness sector. On that slightly depressing note, I'll wrap this video up. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Good luck with your move. Bye.